little bit of strength.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rebecca Barancic, filling in for Rabbi Mangold this evening, and really just hanging out while Joyce Liu and Bia Spytek do all the hard work. And it's really exciting to have Bia up here tonight. And so thank you for joining us and adding your music to our Shabbat worship service. Welcome, everyone, new friends, old friends, people online. Look forward to getting to know all of you, and because we're so happy to be together, we will start on page 10 with Hine Matov, how good it is.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
That was beautiful. Already bringing light into our sanctuary, and we'll add to that as we light the candles this Shabbat. Let's read together in the middle of page 3. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. And after I light the candles, and we will say the blessing together, and then Bia has an arrangement of the candle blessing that we are just honored to get to hear this evening. try? I don't know what to do.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu, Eloheinu melech haolam, lecha etzivanu, lahadlik ner, lahadlik ner, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat, shel Shabbat. Thank you.
Thank you, Bia. That was beautiful. Let's turn to page 5 for the Kiddush, for blessing over the wine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon, hinhilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'harta leotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen.
We now turn to page 20 for Lecha Dodi, where we welcome Shabbat into our midst. We think of the Sabbath bride as we say, "Beloved, come to meet the bride. Beloved, come to greet Shabbat." It's so much love we have in our hearts on Shabbat, and hopefully other days too, but especially this evening. We'll do verses 1, 2, and 9, and then at verse 9, if you're comfortable, we'll stand up and face the door as if to really welcome in that Shabbat spirit.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekavela. Shabbat Lekabela B'Oive Shalom Ateret Ba'ala Gam B'Simcha Uv'Tzohala Tokemunei Am Segula B'Oikala
We remain standing for the Chetzi Kaddish, page 26.
Yitkadav yitkadash shemei Rabba Be'alma divrach hirte ve'yamlich malchute B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Israel Ba'agala ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'yimru amen Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Olmei Almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitraman V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitaleh V'yithalal Shemei D'Kudesha Brihu Le'ilam im kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata damin ram be'alma v'yimru amen.
Please remain standing as we turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu. This is our call to worship. We turn to page 31 for an English interpretation of the Ma'ariv Aravim, our prayer where we're thanking God for bringing on twilight, which is an interesting thought because back in the way olden days, before people understood much of science, imagine before that we had electricity, what a scary time this coming of twilight could be, where you don't know what is the darkness going to bring, and yet we're grateful to God that it's happening. And you think about other moments in our lives when we are in these transitional states, and sometimes it can be quite scary. But we always are grateful that we have each other to try these liminal moments together. Let's read together the middle of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. We turn to page 34 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed.
We turn to page 36 for the V'ahavta. And as you're reading along with me, I hope you're looking especially at all the little squiggly lines that are above and below the Hebrew consonants. Of course, we've got the vowels, but also there are other squiggly things in there. And those are the trope marks, the things that indicate how we should chant inside Torah. And I say this because I'm hopeful some of you will join me at the end of summer as we learn those trope marks together so everyone can learn to chant from Torah. It will be lots of fun. So this is just a little preview as you look at it, and you've all been chanting the V'ahavta for some amount of time, maybe just a week, but maybe several years, and you've always wondered, what is that little funny squiggly, and why does it always make the same sound? So start paying attention now, a little preview. Okay, page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol vavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatan levanecha v'dibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Laman tizkeru vasitem ekol mitzvotai vitem kadoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Let's turn please to page 39, the top of the page. This is one of my favorite poems. Well, it's hard to pick a favorite, isn't it? But this one, I think, especially when we're going through times of difficulty, we read that last line that we've got to join hands and march together. Let's read together at the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, we will hear Mi Chamocha and sing along with you.
Who is like you, Adonai?
On page 42, we will sing Vishamru together, except I don't think it's on page 42, Joyce.
4?
I think it's, yes, page 44, Vishamru. Let's all rise as we turn to page 46 for the tefillah, our main prayer.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mekayeh HaKol atah Rav Le'Oshia, Mori Pantal. Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Lichamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umasmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayeh ha'akol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Kadosh.
You may be seated. We always have things that we are grateful for. It's always good to remind ourselves of that. And I feel like in the sanctuary tonight, there is a lot of gratitude. So I would love to hear from some of you what's making you feel particularly grateful this evening. I'll come around with this microphone that works. Who wants to go first? What's something you're grateful for this Shabbat? I know what Gideon's going to say.
I am particularly grateful for that my brother and my sister-in-law are being ordained as rabbis tomorrow morning. And also my new cousin was born a week ago.
Lots of great simchas in your family. And I mean, we all remember, many of us were here for Aaron's bar mitzvah. And now tomorrow he's getting ordained as a rabbi. How does that make you feel? Besides old, doesn't it give you just goosebumps? So really, just such a great piece of news. Anyone else?
I'm grateful for the TBE choir because we had a very successful karaoke night. This is totally a pitch. Y'all should join choir. We have a ball. So I'm very grateful for my choir mates tonight.
I'm grateful to Congregation Beth-El for hosting a beautiful memorial service for my husband Milton. And I am grateful to be surrounded by the community here and for the 38 wonderful years that I had with my husband.
Thank you. That's beautiful. We're grateful you're here with us after all that you've been through, and we can mourn with you. Take a little piece of your sadness. Anyone else? Oh.
I'm grateful for Rebecca and Bea and Joyce for just a wonderful service, so thank you.
Oh, one sec, Mickey.
I'm grateful for the friends that I've met here at the temple. I also went to Israel at the beginning of April on a volunteer mission with the Jewish National Fund. It was the most incredible and meaningful experience, and I met people from all over the world, but last Friday night for Shabbat dinner, I was able to get together with 8 people from my trip, and we reminisced, and 2 were not Jewish, and they felt compelled to go to help, and they're from, the area, but it was wonderful. So if anyone wants to go to Israel, talk to me because I went on the best, most meaningful thing ever.
I'm going to walk over to Mickey. Mickey.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm very grateful to have my family here, my 3 children. For Sunday, we're going to have the unveiling of my wife's, who passed away last year. Thank you all.
Thank you. Welcome, family, even anytime. And you forgot about your brother over there, Evan. Your brother, Evan. Anyone else want to share some gratitude? I bet there's someone else. Going. I'm sure we all have even more gratitude. Maybe hearing what others have said inspires you to remember things you are grateful for. What? Did I miss something? Oh, what am I grateful for? I'm constantly curbing my instinct to talk about myself, so I shall not say right now. But yes, I also am very grateful for many things. Page 60 is what I'm grateful for now. Shalom Rav on page 60, our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon Loho HaShalom. Ki atahu melech adon Loho HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
Let's take a few moments for silent prayer. You can either use the meditations and prayers in your prayer book or just think about what's in your heart.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom.
for that prayer for peace. We turn to our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, healing of mind, healing of body, healing of soul. And as I read this list of names to you, think about what are ways that we can be God's partner in helping to heal these members of our community as well as help their caregivers. We are praying for Judith Alstetter, Leah Brady, Suzette Sorrell Carter, Ruth Cohen, Sarah Gassman, Jamie Joslin, Jessica Becker, Michal Ben Yankel Vipesha, Tzvi Dov Ben Binyamin Beshendel, Dina Suskin, Julie Weaver, Andrea Weinberg, and David Weinberg. And we continue thinking of these relatives and friends: John Annis, Madeline Arabia, Seaman Averbach, Sonia Ballin, David Brady, Patty Bregman, Michael Buchholz, Mariah Sklar Cardoso, Yarick Cowling, Stephen Ezrick, Kate Fagan, Herb Fisher, Shelley Fletcher, Helen Foreman, Alyssa Freeman, Robert Friedman, Jordana Fuller. We are thinking of Robert Gilner, Terry Gilner, Stephen Goldstein, Susan Goldstein, John Graham, Gianna Grigsby, Diana Hart, Sally Israel, Matthew Katz, Stephen Kerr, Goran Kitschik, Nicole Krasner, Nancy Lambert, Israel Ben Leib, Israel Ben Liebel, Mark Lyman, Angela Merceret, Clark Moore, Susan Nash, Mark Perkins, Harris Plotnick, Robert Joseph Pratt, Steve Rice, Alana Frank Savader, Betty Schroeder, Ron Seidel, Lori Sarah, Stan Silverberg, Deanza Smith, Liviana Sulzer, Eugenia Wands, Pete Warnick, Valerie Welch, Jeanette Wilburn, and Matthew Sternberg Yee. That was a long list, but you're probably also thinking of others. Please keep them close in your hearts as we turn to the Misha Berach, page 253. Beautiful, Leah, thank you. And now some words of wisdom from Joyce.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, so this week's Parsha is called Bechukotai, which means in my statutes, and it's found in Leviticus. God promises that if the people of Israel will keep God's commandments, they will enjoy material prosperity and dwell securely in their homeland. But God also rebukes them, warning of exile, persecution, and other evils that will befall them if they abandon their covenant with God. It's kind of anxiety building, right? Like, to believe that every choice we make will either be rewarded or punished, right? I get stressed out just thinking about it. I started thinking about relationships in my life, how certain relationships are so rewarding because they feel easy and fulfilling. And then there are those relationships which feel punishing because they are hard and challenging, really pushing me to my edge, where I become dysregulated, stressed out from all that friction, and one can even say traumatized. I asked myself, how do I build more rewarding relationships? How do I show up for the ones that are so punishing? I know when I'm so unmotivated to do it, but I still know I should do it, I need to do it. Those ones that push me down or that are so triggering. And then I came across this passage in a book by Thomas Ubel. He wrote this amazing book called Attuned, Practicing Interdependence to Heal Our Trauma and Our World. And this is a really beautiful passage. I'm going to read it really slowly so we can digest his words. With attuned relationships, the traumatized nervous system gains the ability to recalibrate itself. The body feels safe in this environment, and this type of relating is committed, warm, and generous. It allows the body to gradually metabolize experiences and integrate the trauma into new learning. Digesting these words really helps me realize that every relationship we encounter in our day, with a coworker, a partner, a family member, a student, a person who rings you up at Publix, every one of those encounters gives us an opportunity for healing. The healing capacity is always there. When we approach our relationships with chesed, with loving kindness, from our heart center, we move towards restoring wholeness in ourselves and in our relationships. Think about when you are not whole, or when you're out of balance and you're stressed out, right? What are those 4 F's? I think we're really familiar, right? Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And you probably notice the high stress levels happening on a global scale right now. These stress reactions are happening for so many people because it has become a part of our collective experience. While I don't have answers to solve global problems, I do believe in the slow, simple steadiness of healing. And I think that is one of the many gifts of Shabbat. We come to this moment, right now, to this sanctuary, maybe a little broken, a little harried, a little unnerved, a little heartbroken, and we come to connect to our spirits, to our hearts, for nourishment. When we can heal ourselves and invest in our relationships, we can begin to heal our struggling world. That's that tikkun olam that is just one of the foundational values of Judaism. When we show up for each other with goodwill and curiosity, a willingness to not judge, but to hold space for people carrying stress or unresolved trauma, we can help them ease the grip of their pain. Compassionate responses can create a depth of honesty and connection that so many of us, including myself, long for. All of this to say, we walk this path called life together. We hold our hands and we keep going. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Joyce. Yasher koach. I guess when I said that, my favorite prayer was the marching together, joining hands.
right?
I didn't
Standing on
know
the
you were
parted
going to
shores.
say that. Wow. See, that's good friends. Let's all rise as we turn to the Aleinu on page 282 and open the ark. I'm wondering if Gideon would like to help us, as you often do.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot hadama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'gora leinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim Lifnei melech Malchei hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Ushemo, Echad. Thank you both. You may be seated.
We now turn to the mitzvah of memory, the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, where we commemorate those loved ones we've lost in recent days and weeks and in this season in years past. And we remember them together. And as Sharon said, we come together and we support one another, and hopefully we know we're not alone, right? We're all here together to support one another in fun times like karaoke, but also when we need each other in times of mourning. As I read the list of those whose yahrzeits we're commemorating, whose recent deaths or anniversary of deaths we're commemorating, please feel comfortable to rise at your seat if you would like to. And then after I read off this list, I'll see if there's anyone else that you're thinking of this Shabbat. We remember Milton Teichman, and we also remember Shirley Snitz, both of whom recently passed. This week, this Shabbat, marks the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of Rose Benjamin, Fanny Brownstein, Beatrice Elliott, Seymour Mike Ettinger, Evelyn Feldman, Evelyn Goldman, Stephen Greenberg, Arlene Honig, Alina Kishinevsky-Stern, Miriam Levine, Harry Mayrock, Rosa Lyon Miller, Susie Philippes, Eleanor Plattner, Grigory Borisovich Rabinovich, Jacob Rappaport, Miriam Schneider, Chaim Shapiro, Arthur Siegel, Ada Truckee, Albert Truckee, Etta Truckee, Florence Truckee, Kate Truckee, Louis Truckee, Samuel Truckee, Janine Warsaw, Elaine Wax, and Jenny Wind. If there are others you're thinking about and you'd like to say their name aloud, please do so at this time. Thank you. Any others? Well, let's all rise as one community, supporting one another as we recite these words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma Divrach Chirutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon Uv'yomechon Uv'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uv'izman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam U'Lalmei Almaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'tadar V'taleh V'talal Shemei Dekudusha Barechu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tushbechata V'nechamata. Damiram B'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlet Rabbah Min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
You may be seated. Our announcements this week are by Bia.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for Rebecca, and thank you to Joyce for the beautiful service, and thank you to the both of you for sharing this space with me and inviting me to join you guys in prayer. It was an honor. Right. And I'd also like to invite you guys to come talk to Rebecca after services, or send her an email if you would like to be where I am right here today giving the announcements. All right, so on Monday, June 3rd, the summer camp for the ECC is going to start. So please take a look at that and check out the website if you're interested. Next, on Thursday, there's going to be a Boomers Nifty Queer voting event, so you can check the website for that. And on Friday, there's going to be a baseball-themed Shabbat. So wear your baseball gear, and we're going to be joined by guest speaker, Dr. Richard Zamof. All right, so thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yay. Thank you, Bia. I'm going to speak for Joyce now and say that really it was our honor, Bia, to be up here with you. And one day we're going to say, yeah, we were with Bia on their very first Shabbat service. So thank you. And thank you to all of you here for being with us this evening, and of course to Joyce, as always, not just for leading us in prayer and song, but then also teaching us some Torah. That was a privilege for all of us. We will close with Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Let there be peace again upon us, page 353.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Folks.